Hi, my name is Karen, and this is my husband Brian. This home was originally built by my parents around 1992. Um, Brian and I were a military family of four, and we loved coming to Lake Wynonah to visit my parents and enjoy their home and the lake with the kids. Um, when Brian retired from the Air Force, we moved to Chester County, and that was in 2003. And we could come to Lake Wynonah and cherish more time with my parents and have fun at the lake. In 2023, both Brian and I retired from our jobs, and we decided to sell the house in Chester County and to renovate this house. After 32 years, the house needed a little bit of renovation, and we wanted to make a few changes that would reflect our style. And I want to thank the Fisher Brothers Outdoor Living and Siding teams for their impeccable work, craftsmanship, and attention to detail.
We had several goals for our renovation project here at Lake Wynonah. First, it was outdoor living. Second, it was siding. Third, it was a new roof. And fourth, it was a replacement of windows. All four things Fisher Brothers did for us. Inside those major objectives, like for example, the outdoor living side, our original deck was structurally unsound, so we wanted Fisher Brothers to look at the footings and structure to make sure that it was proper. Secondly, we had a pressure-treated, spindly deck. It was beautiful, it took care of our needs, but we were really tired of painting it. And so also for outdoor living, it was great to go to a different system and wire railing that required little maintenance. Finally, for outdoor living, today Karen and I are obviously very ambulatory, but we wanted to create our house so that this could be our forever home. And we created a wraparound deck and ramp so that you could go from grade at the garage, go past the main door, and then come out on the deck facing the lake. So those were our objectives for outdoor living. All of them were done in an immaculate fashion. Chris did a fantastic job giving us concepts and then executing the project. From a siding perspective, as Karen said, the house was vinyl and it was old. And so we knew that we wanted to remove the old siding. We wanted to remediate any mold or OSB that had damage. And we wanted a new look that had a less of a maintenance feel. And again, Fisher Brothers, from a siding perspective, did a great job of removing the old vinyl, remediating any OSB that was damaged or any mold that had created, and then installing a hardy system with ASIC trims. And we're very proud of the result. I didn't want to forget that we also had Fisher Brothers do our roofing system. This house has got a pretty steep A-frame design. We put an extension on it, and the key for the roofing was, do we have a roof that can meet the weather conditions at Lake Wynonah? We get a lot of wind and pretty hard precipitation. And also to do water management, so to ensure that as water cascades off the A-frame roof into the gutters and other water management systems, that it didn't create any erosion from the perspective of sitting here on top of a hill. And then of course we wanted a cost-effective solution. And again, Fisher Brothers delivered. They did a beautiful job installing the roof lines and putting an asphalt system, shingle system that was beyond reproach. We're very happy with it. From a window perspective, again, it was a very simple process. They measured the windows and they installed new ones where necessary, and we used some of the old ones where they didn't need to be replaced. We did the basement first to basically get it to the condition it is now. We lived in it with rustic furniture, like this wasn't here and the leather wasn't here and that kind of thing. Then did the second phase, which was
So glad we did that,
all
though,
the rest of
because
it.
we could be on site while the rest of it was going on, because there was, daily questions, and which was great, because we were here to answer anything that came up to, no, tweak it this way, no, take that out, or there were always adjustments that were being made. I'm working with Fisher Brothers for about 10 years now. Back in our other house in Chester Springs, it was about 2013 or 2014 when we had noticed a leak in our attic. So I called a bunch of contractors. Many didn't want to come out because of the small job. And I ran across the name of Fisher Brothers, and I thought I'd just give them a call. And one of the brothers actually came out, and he saw what the problem was, and it was like a dried ring around one of our plumbing vents. And he actually replaced all of them, all of the rings around all the vents. And he was just so friendly, so nice, attention to detail, and so we were very, very happy with the repairs, and that's where the relationship started. And needless to say, I kept the contact data from them.
Yeah, then in about 2017, 2018, our Chester Springs home was a stucco exterior. And we saw that the stucco didn't look great, and we actually moisture test our home and found that we had extensive moisture behind the stucco. We pulled out the old card that we were given and called Fisher Brothers, as well as a number of other companies. I had been recently the president of our homeowners association in Chester County. So we pulled together a couple of neighbors, because it wasn't just our house that had a problem, it was the entire neighborhood. We were all built by the same builder at about the same time. And we pulled together a small committee. We interviewed several stucco companies, I should say siding companies. And I created a invitation for a bid or a request for proposal. And we put it out to 7 companies. We received multiple responses, and by far Fisher Brothers was the best value. They were not the cheapest, but they were the best value in the overall product that they did and the service they provided. So we were very happy that ourselves and at least 7 other neighbors chose Fisher Brothers to do a complete stucco remediation, new siding, new gutters, you name it, and then of course AZIC trims. I think for us, one of the best moments was when we met Ben Reel. Ben was the key salesman for Fisher Brothers at the time, and I'll never forget standing in the kitchen, and we're laying on Ben all of our concerns of what was happening to our home, and Ben methodically went through what he thought the steps would be to remediate the stucco, to remove it, to fix what was ever behind it, and then get us an exterior we were proud of. And from that moment, we just always enjoyed working with Ben and the guys that came out to do the job. Whether it was Ben or Mel or Chris, it was always the same. Fisher Brothers were very frank, very courteous, very complete. They had an attention to detail. And, whenever something needed to be done, they were always very interested in the customer experience. What could they do to allay any anxiety we had or problems we had? And then get to a result that we'd all be proud of. And it was always a joy, quite honestly, to work with all the members of Fisher Brothers as we developed a contract and then executed.
outdoor living and siding had a 3D computer image of what the house was going to look like as we developed all the plans. And that was phenomenal because we can see maybe what we wanted to add or say, no, take away that. And it helped us visualize what the finished product was going to be. And it alleviated stress and the what ifs, knowing what the outdoor house was going to look like. And totally appreciated that. And it was very, very helpful in giving us the confidence that the finished product was going to be fantastic.
For example,
really
the wall
helpful.
behind you,
Mm-hmm.
that was an afterthought.
Okay.
And Chris was able to model it in the
Yeah.
CAD system. And we were very pleased that what he showed in the CAD and what we got was exactly the same.
We also added underneath the ramp coming up the side of the house, we added that storage unit underneath, if you notice that. And we wanted to see what it was going to look like. And it exceeded our expectations. And even on the day that it was built by the guys, they had to make some adjustments because of the angle of the driveway and so forth, and cutting of the doors so the doors opened smoothly. But that was all that attention to detail. They knew what they needed to do, but then they collaborated with us. You mind if we do this? Or I think this would look better. And we knew that they had great vision as well, but they always consulted us if there was going to be any kind of tweak or a change.
The other thing that I'll add is that when things didn't go quite right, like the ceiling in our outdoor living area just behind you, underneath the deck, the installation was done in a very cold January day. And the guys, it was us in the spring when it got hot, we recognized that the ceiling material was really wavy. So I called Chris back and explained what the problem was, and sent him a picture. And within a couple of days, those guys were out here and replaced it. So from when things didn't go quite right, Fisher Brothers stood behind their product and fixed it without complaint. We appreciated that very much.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
As I mentioned to you, we did this house renovation in 2 phases. We did the basement first, and then we did the rest of the house, the exterior and roof, in the second phase. And Fisher Brothers, I'll also say, I was the general contractor in the process. We had 14 different firms that were working at the house. Fisher Brothers being the largest and the most scope. But what I enjoyed most is that when the Fisher Brother crew were here, and I had other craftsmen on site, there was a synergistic effect that took place. They went out of their way to collaborate with the other craftsmen to ensure that the results we got met everybody's needs. And what a fantastic result we got. So from being a general contractor, it was a wonderful experience to work with Fisher Brothers in tandem with my other subs.
There were no other delays. They were here when they said they were going to be here. They got here at 7 a.m. They left at 4 p.m. And they worked and worked and worked. And that's how we got this project done in 6 months.
Yes. Yeah, it was amazing to see that we fundamentally maintained our schedule. And a lot of that was because of Fisher Brothers' attention, I'll say especially with the roof system, because when we basically took the old roof off the house, we were vulnerable to the weather and potential damage. And they worked along with our rough carpenter and got the house sealed up in no time. So our risk, if you will, looking at it in days, was maybe 4 days. And luckily, we didn't have much rain during that 4 days, and it came out beautifully. So, mission accomplished. Thanks, Fisher Brothers.
Am I happy with the house? Absolutely. There is nothing that I would have wanted to change, and everything was done exactly the way we wanted it to be done. Also, with their feedback and a few suggestions and comments that would make it even nicer. Totally appreciated that. And this house is perfect. We're very happy here. And Fisher Brothers, thank you so much for the craftsmanship, the camaraderie, the attention to detail, and I feel like we're old friends.
Well, there you have it. Happy wife, happy life, right? So a mission accomplished. Karen and I sincerely enjoyed every moment working with Chris, with Vernon, with Ben Maxey, with Ben Minnie, with Johnny Ringo, with Josh, Steve. I know I'm going to miss a couple of
many
names,
more.
but every one of the people from the outdoor living team to the siding team to the roofing team, thank you all very much. And we're very proud to live in this house, and we're very proud to have your craftsmanship here.
And very proud to share it with friends, family, and neighbors as well.
Amen.
A lot of people have noticed this house as it was being built, as it was being sided, and they thought that it was the most wonderful thing. They said, we haven't seen homes built like this in 35 to 40 years. And they were extremely impressed, and I know that there's a lot of interest in how this house was done, and quite possibly future business.